Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey, good evening. Happy Friday night. Hello. Let me mute this. We still have the big pumpkin, the great pumpkin being carved. It's a chicken. It's a chicken, guys. Hey, Carrie and Audra D.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors.
I didn't push that. Hey, Carrie, Audra D, Rexy55, Northern Beans. Good to see you. HJ, wonderful to see you. Shell, Snow, HJ, Incognito, Potato, because she's cool with Y's. Are your moderators. Those are your moderators this evening. And Angie B. Can't forget the Angie B. I see Rose. And I don't see Mike Sanner yet. We're still missing a wrench, but we shall get started. Tracy, I don't know. I'm going to try. I have a FOIA request in for all the Taylor Parker stuff. They're still in the penalty phase. Hello, Mrs. Kurt Cobain. Welcome back. You are super special. Super special. Welcome, Akron, Ohio. Ashley Archer, how you doing? Hey, Julie Labrador and Allie. Hello, Allie. It is an angry chicken. It's a Halloween chicken. Hey, Mike. Hey, Cheryl McDonald. Hey, Openly Avoidant and Cody Russo. Hello, the Russo. So that's the angry chicken. But I wanted to share something with you guys really fast that you're going to love. I think. If I can get it pulled up here. So I'm going to share with, give you a little sneak peek of Bella's Halloween costume. Are you guys ready? So it goes, I had to share it early because it goes with the pumpkin theme here. Let me get it up on the screen. You guys are going to die. It's so cute. And she actually really loved having it on for like the second I put it on her. She really enjoyed it. Her tail was wagging. She was really she thought it was pretty damn cute herself. So there's Bella's Halloween costume. She's a chicken this year. And I figured that it was perfect for the Great Pumpkin. Welcome, Nicole Hayes, Roberta. Thank you for joining. It's good to have you. So there's Miss Bella. And let me make this ticker move a little faster. Tonight, if you donate, you will see your name scroll across. Ooh, look at that. It's all big and beefy and fast. I have no idea why. But okay. Isn't it cute? I just took that right before we came live, so that is just tonight. She's something special. She really is. She's a sweetheart. All right, let's get this slowed down because the tip ticker is on speed and I can't deal. Okay, I put it on 5. Did it slow it down? Now it's faster. Aw, thank you, Miss Kurt Cobain. Thanks, guys. You know what? We're just gonna scrap that. Yeah, so he's carving up. I mean, let me get Bella off here. Bella, you're super cute. Thank you, Allie. Roberta. Her beautiful tail. I know she loves her tail. So this is a 2,560 pound pumpkin. And this is in the Halloween capital of the world. And this, I know it's flying. And this is called Maverick. And this is in Minnesota. No, he said earlier that it was chicken. Or maybe he was joking. I was half-ass listening. He could have been joking, maybe. If he's joking, then I caught a part of it. Because earlier we thought it was an eagle. And then I turned it on and he told some lady, oh, it's a chicken. And I was like, oh, how cute. It's a chicken. Maybe I had an airhead moment. Okay, so let's start our Ask Me Anything. So let's start. We'll do this. And then I have an update on the Apple River stabber. You know, the stabber guy, that stabbed the teens. Well, this hearing, this was like a preliminary to see if it would go over to trial. And it's very telling of what really happened that day. And I think this dude might get off on self-defense, to be honest with you. Oh, May, you're still awake? Did you take a nap, May? You could have, Allie. Are you far from this place? Anaka, Minnesota? And the farmer that grew it is Travis Ginger. Travis Ginger. Do the chickens have large talons, Cheryl? Yeah, the tubing guy. Nicholas Meow. Nicholas Meow. Speaking of meows, we have to do our poll for the next kitty name real fast. We got to get that up. Hey, Crash and Burn. How are you? It's good to see you. Okay, so we have to do our next kitty name poll. And it is going to be... I want to get it right. Last one was Emmy versus Justice, and Emmy won by a hair. A hair. So it's going to be Emmy versus Gabby. Pick your favorite kitty name. And it's going to be Emmy versus Gabby. These are your names, guys. It's a cheagle, not to be confused with a liger. We should have Scott Skulls draw us a cheagle. You're 25 minutes from there? That's hilarious. Chickens don't have talons. They don't? I thought they had large talons. Ooh, look at Emmy's coming in hot. 64% for Emmy already and 36% for Gabby with 25 votes. Won by a cat hair. Betty and Dolly and I called the cops and it's so perturbed. I heard things have gotten really bad at Quentin Simon's house. And I just want to say, like, I haven't watched any of it today. I've watched nothing to do with Quentin or the whole protesting, any of that today. And I've heard, I haven't watched it myself, but I heard that Billy Joe is up on panels now. And it seems to me that they're getting, like, garnering, like, sympathy for her because the protesting thing has gone so south. And I don't think that because the protesting may have went south for whatever reason, I don't think that that makes Billy Joe any less culpable or responsible for the fact that Quentin is gone. I still think that she's a piece of crap. She didn't protect him, and she was legally supposed to protect him. And that's the bottom line for me. I don't care about her pain right now. Because right now there's a little boy that's probably, and I hate to say this and be graphic, but squished in a landfill. I don't have sympathy for her. She didn't protect him like she was supposed to. Yeah, she's a moderator on someone's channel. Like, get a grip. I mean, clicks and views are not worth, like, your morale, your moral compass. You know what I'm saying? And just because the protesters are bad doesn't make the Simons good. Like, two bads doesn't make a good. No, nobody wants to come on J for J. I don't play that clicks and views bullshit. I would never kiss Billy Joe's ass. Never. Mm-mm. That's why they don't want to come on here. Yeah, integrity. Thank you, Allie79. I just don't see any point in defending a woman who legally was responsible for a child who's missing. Legally responsible. I don't know. It makes me feel gross inside. Like, that makes me feel sick. I mean, this isn't a joke. You know, this is real life. This is somebody's real life that was so fucked up that this happened. And to put them up on a panel, I don't know, man. I couldn't do it. I mean, to each their own. And, you know, no protester and no YouTube creator that's, you know, interviewing family members or whatever, it's going to find Quentin. Like, right. And went to the bar. Even if she was doing it to, you know, try to make Leilani set her up or whatever. It's wrong. It's wrong. She should have never left. She should have never left home with that baby in the care of two Hyons. And if her recording is true, here, I'm going to put up the start a Q&A. Go ahead and put your questions in there. But like, ask me anything. I'm kind of scared. I have my discretion to not answer certain questions. Emmy is coming in hot. 71% for Emmy. You guys love Emmy. It is really cute. I love it too. Staying at the house? What? I don't know, man. Twerking in front of the window at protesters. See, I didn't even see that. Hey, La Bamba. You told Betty and Dolly to come home. Aren't they coming home today? See, they've always left at night. And everyone's in their chat like, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Ah! It's like, dudes, it's getting nighttime. And they know it gets crazy. You can ask whatever you want. Let's see if there's any questions yet. I'm kind of scared, but that's okay. This is out of my comfort zone. I don't see any questions yet. Emmy and Gabby, 70% to 30%. Holy cow. Oh, here we go. What was your favorite pastime as a child and teenager? My favorite pastime? Oh my gosh. Okay, so as a child, I would say listening to music. And I can't believe that you actually care about this. It's so exciting. But like listening to music was one of my favorite pastimes, even as a child, like in elementary school. Recording my favorite music on tapes. Recording my voice with a microphone on my stereo with my tapes. Being like a DJ in between the songs. I'd make my own mixtapes. With my own freaking voice, like a nerd. And then I like to read books as well. I read a lot of books in elementary school and not so much in junior high. So junior high, I was kind of like, I wasn't really involved in extracurricular activities at school. I was in like chorus and stuff, but like during the day. So I wasn't really a big extracurricular activity kind of kid, I guess. So I hung out with my friends as a teenager, got, into trouble. Not bad trouble, but just, typical teenage shit. KW10, thank you, Angie B. KW10, have you heard about the Pike County Massacre trial? A family killed another family. I heard about it briefly. I know HJ was following it, and we talked about it briefly, but I did not follow that one. But I do see it on YouTube a lot. Mrs. Kurt Cobain, what do you like best about being on YouTube? Best? You guys. 100%. You guys. Being able to talk to you guys, seeing the same people all the time, getting to know you, like having our own little community here. I think it was really important, not only to me, but to a lot of people through COVID. I think that it helped to have a little community. So I would say the people are my most favorite part of being on YouTube. And the people that I've met and come across has been pretty amazing, actually. I've had Shane Culkin. I mean, how random is that? It's just, you never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to come across. Allie79, who's your YouTube man crush? All in good fun. I don't really have a YouTube man crush. Who would be my favorite YouTube person? I would have to say Joe Rogan, or I enjoyed the Angry Turnip. What's his name? Steve Oatley. I enjoyed him this week. He's really funny. I like YouTubers with a sense of humor and that talk about deep things, They get into deep things, even if it's politics or, having opinions and stuff. I like that, but in a respectful way. Rexy, do you have siblings? I do. I have 5. I have 4 sisters and a brother. I'm the youngest of 6. And one of my sisters passed away when I was 11. So I do have 4 sisters and a brother. But one of my sisters died. She was 23 and she was in a car accident. But I am the baby of the family. And my brother is the oldest, and we're 15 years apart. So we were talking about this earlier with Rose. My brother was in the Army, was going in the Army at 18 when I was 4. So that's a bit strange. So I didn't see him for quite a while. He left when I was 4, and then he was in Germany and stuff. So he was gone. So it was kind of weird. From 4 to 8 years old, I didn't see my brother. Carrie, when did you first get interested in true crime and why? I used to read True Detective magazine as a kid. I've never even heard of that. True Detective. Well, I'll tell you what. I think that my first mystery was and you're going to laugh, but Encyclopedia Brown books. Aw, thanks you guys. You lived in Germany, Lindsay Lee. So did Incognito Potato. Your 3 siblings are older as well, Finn. Crash and burn, Vern. I didn't read Nancy Drew. My sister did, though. Candy Smith, do you know CNY Family Channel host sounds so much like you? I've never seen her face since she only does lives with an avatar, but it's wild. So sorry to hear you lost your big sister. Thank you. What's CNY Family Channel? Fill me in. I know, right, Carrie? We're all going to laugh at you.
So there's a lot of butt joints that we have to cover. And I'm like, Dudley, let's do butt joints together. Because I don't want to have to do them all by myself.
Do butt joints by myself. All right, let me go back to the questions. See, this Q&A, now that I know how to do it, is pretty cool. Let's see. Well, okay, KW10. What has been the most difficult case to cover? I would say Summer Wells. I think that anytime there's a kid missing and they're not found, that's probably the worst. That's the worst case scenario. That makes it difficult for me. It bothers me to hear that Summer Wells has been missing for 16 months or whatever it is. That is just, it makes me feel sick as a mom, Thank you for your question, KW. Angie B, where is the strangest place? Oh, she's taking it in another direction, you guys. Where is the strangest place you made love? So Angie B says, I'll tell mine. A rooftop of a restaurant where a dude I worked dated. Jesus, Angie B. I can't beat that. I've never really done it in a strange place. I can't say that I have. Maybe the beach, I guess. Cheryl McDonald, what has made true crime your passion? I think starting out, I did a lot of interviews with like families who were missing people and like trying to help them get the word out. I did a lot of those in like 2019. And I think that helping people helps to kind of make you feel like you have a purpose. And you know, anybody can get up here and just talk and, you know, give their opinion on stuff and all that. But it really takes a lot to sit down with a family member, a mother or a father or both who are missing a child that they have no idea where they're at. To me, that just makes it worth it, I guess you could say. But it's hard doing those interviews too, because you really do feel what they feel being a parent. We have 111 viewers in chat. Make a wish. But you really do feel it. Lisa B, are you married? I am. I am hitched. Hitched. I'm actually hitched to my best friend. He's my best friend. So I'm pretty grateful for that. I mean, obviously nothing is perfect. If people, you know, make it seem like theirs is a perfect relationship and all that. We've had our times for sure. And ooh, Mrs. Kurt Cobain, kinky. Look at you, kinky ladies. Dressing room in a clothing store on a Harley, Butterfly Angel. Jeepers. You're gonna make me blush.
La la la
Okay.
la la.
Angie B, that sounds cool actually, says Carol. Candy Smith, is that your natural voice, or did you take speaking classes or journalism degree? You sound fab on the mic. Well, thank you. No, it's my natural voice. We did, Kurt Cobain, we did meet on YouTube. Yep. And if I said it wasn't a rocky, unpredictable road, I'd be lying. But okay, how did I end up living in Florida from Michigan? Funny thing, right? Allie did it in a tanning salon. Northern Beans. Loving an elevator.
You can't tell me. You can't.
She had butt joints in an elevator.
So there's a lot of butt joints that we
So anyway, I've moved back and forth from Michigan and Florida many times. And I'll tell you why. Yes, Angel Girl. I hesitated on answering that. What was I saying? Oh, it looks like he's finished. It looks like a chicken, you guys. It's white. Hello. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. Crazy. Let's see. Oh, fuzzy lip slippers and lip gloss. Abso-freaking-lutely. Here we go.
Fucking fuzzy slippers and lip gloss.
Scott H is sound bites for days and days and days on end. Is it still super loud, you guys? Y'all are killing me. Asking about loving an elevator and shiz. All right, let's go back to the questions. Oh, yeah, Julie Labrador. Sorry. I was answering your question. Oh, the Michigan thing. Right. So I was born in Michigan. When I was 18, I was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I moved to Daytona Beach with two of my best friends, and we lasted about 9 months, and then came back to Michigan. And then that was in 91, 92. Then fast forward to 2006, and I was married, had my 3 children, and my husband at the time and the 3 kids, we all moved to Florida in 03, I think it was. And then we stayed down there until 2011. Then I was back in Michigan at 2011. I know it's a mess. Then back in Michigan at 2011. And then back down here in 2019. Carol H says, same, married, sometimes stormy, sometimes stable. I mean, it's life. It's life. This is my full-time job, Candy Smith. It's been my full-time job since mid 2019. And thankfully for my husband, I've been able to do this because sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's been months where I've just barely cleared $800. And it's like, who can live off that, right? So I'm extremely grateful that I've been able to continue doing this, because I wouldn't have been able to. What I did before was marketing for healthcare. Crash and burn Vern. I got caught parking in a subdivision under construction by the pool, laughing my ass off. You did, Cobain. You got me all flustered. What's your favorite meal? Steak, sweet potato, and veggies. That would be my favorite. Steak, preferably like a ribeye or a T-bone or a filet, and a sweet potato with the works. I'm talking butter, marshmallows, cinnamon, brown sugar. Give me it all, baby. And a side salad. And I'm happy. Cheryl T. Rexy, what does hubby do for a living? He is a tow truck driver at the moment. At the moment. I'm always trying to get him. I wanted to start an online business, like an online store. And he's not real like tech savvy. So I want to do that, and I've been trying to tell him through COVID, like, let's do something, online, whatever, so you don't have to go to work every day. But I think he likes going to work every day, and I kind of need him to go to work every day, because if I'm working at home, like, All right, let's see, what else do we have? I love sweet potatoes with the works, though. Candy, it sounds like your husband is very supportive, and that is wonderful. Good for you. He is. I mean, I can't say that, the YouTube thing hasn't gotten on his nerves at a time or two. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to balance. It's hard to balance, like, a YouTube life, so to speak, and your real life. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you have all of this that goes on YouTube on this platform, but like people in your regular life wouldn't understand it, even if you tried to talk about it. And like if people in your life you talk about it to aren't really online much, then they're really like, okay, like what? Their laws, they don't understand. And that's, I think, been the biggest challenge. Not that anybody asked. Texas Roadhouse is one of my favorites. I love their bread too. Okay, openly avoidant. I've been watching you from way back when. Do you ever look up info on the bestie you had a falling out with? I think of them sometimes. I hope they're doing okay. Can totes pass if too personal? No, actually, I don't. I try not to even go there. No. I try not to even go there. Candy wants to know, how is it moving to another state? I'm considering moving my family, but been in my hometown for 42 years. I say go for it. I mean, I don't know anything about your children and your family, but no, never the Finn. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that kind of stuff. He does like, like breakdowns and stuff or accidents. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cheryl. Like, I did want that, but then it's like, ICU. Is the Amazon under some name in Largo, Florida? What do you mean? The Amazon thing should just mask the address. So where are you moving from, Candy? And where are you thinking about moving to? I'm curious now. They're butter and bread. Oh, I know, that whipped butter. Mm-mm-mm. But yes, I mean, that's where I live. I like Florida better. Kurt Cobain. I didn't even hesitate on that one. Kitty almost has a new name. Looks like Emmy is winning, you guys. Check out the pumpkin. Here, let's look. What's my favorite adult beverage? I don't drink, so I would have to say a beer. I'm not a really big drinker. I never liked mixed drinks. How old was I when I got married the first time? 21. Hey, Lisa B from the UK. Here, this is for you, Lisa B. Hold on.
Given the fallout,
Lisa B wants to know, given the fallout, how long have you been growing your dreads for? 2.5 years. It'll be, well, it was June of 2020. What's your favorite band, artist, high school and now? Ooh, that's a good one. High school, I would say my favorite bands, I can't just pick one, was Tesla, Poison. I love classic rock, always loved it. But like back in that day with what was new, it was like Tesla, Poison, Warrant. I can't even think now. But that gives you an idea. Cheryl McDonald, you're from Michigan. I am from Metro Detroit. So like 30 miles north of Detroit in Romeo, Michigan. And here's a little fun fact. Kid Rock went to high school and junior high with me. What's my favorite Scott H-ism? Fuck directly off has to be it. That was Carrie's question. Fuck directly off. Given the fallout. Oh, Cody Russo. Cody Russo. Steak cooked how? Medium rare. Medium rare. Not mooing, but not cooked all the way through either. La Bamba. Yes, Poison was great. Hey, Scott H. He's expecting his royalty check. Well, don't hold your breath, Scott H. Yes, Def Leppard. Absolutely. Hello, Scott H. I have to play a Scott H soundbite just because he stopped in tonight. This is one of my favorites. This is This is a really good go-to.
God almighty.
Like, that's my go-to, Scott H. I play that one more than I'd like to admit. In my head, too. You're from Warren? Awesome. It's the only way, Cody. La Bamba says gross. No meat. Cinderella, one of my faves. Okay, thank you, Judy. May, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes we just get into these, like, patterns. You know what I mean? Happy Halloween. Oh, Angie B's having a brewski tonight. Look at all these people getting their picture taken. All right, do we have any more questions, or are we going to move on to Nikolai? I did, but Nirvana was kind of when I was in my 20s. So I graduated high school in 91, and then Nirvana came out like after I graduated. So I wouldn't call that teenage years. That was more like my 20s. We went for a good half hour on the questions, though. Thank you, guys. Will I dress up for Halloween? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to a party, though, at my neighbor's tomorrow. She's having a pumpkin carving party with Jell-O shots and shiz, so that should be fun. But yeah, look at that. The big chicken. Look at it. It has big, large talons. It's definitely an eagle. You're right. I think the guy was totally kidding. I love Nirvana. Are you kidding me? It was one of my favorite bands. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters. You get rare in restaurants because they have to give you their very best. Is that right? Carrie for Halloween?
Who knows?
Motley Crue's all right. I wasn't a big fan of Motley Crue.
There was leakage, but there was a lot of leakage.
Leakage. You had 2 kids by 91, Angie? You graduated in 91 too, Mrs. Kurt? That's awesome. So we're totally from the same generation. Look at this lady. She's like, oh my God, I love it. Let's see what she's saying. She's really tickled. I love watching people's reactions to stuff. It's so great. People are great. I need one of those shirts. Anoka Halloween Capital. Allie, maybe you can grab me a shirt. Julie Labrador, you were saying you went to school with Kid Rock. Are y'all friends still? No, I was never really friends with him. My ex-husband is good friends with him, though. And they still talk. And, like, he goes on the cruises with them and stuff when he does the Chillin' the Most cruises and all that. Soundgarden, absolutely. Which movie do I like better, Carrie or Halloween? Carrie, of course. How could I like anything but Carrie? I had my first kid in 95. We have 136 votes, you guys.
Oh my God. We went to the elementary school yesterday. Number 1 question. Will you be carving it with a chainsaw?
And Emmy is winning at 68%.
They're so fast.
This is so awesome. It doesn't even look like a pumpkin, you guys. It doesn't even look real. Look at the detail on that thing. That's crazy. Smashing Pumpkins. Yep. Sister from another Miss and Mister. Rexy, you graduated in 73. You're not old. I was born in 73, though. 11/11. Angie B's going to text me her slutty devil picture. Ooh. 91 in the house. 1991 in the house. No, nobody's old. Nobody's old. All right, should we get into Nikolai, Mr. Nikolai? And the reason I'm showing this, 83. One of my sisters graduated in 83. Did you guys hear that? What was that, Bella? Did you guys hear that noise? So listen, you guys, this is important. This is important stuff. This Nikolai Emu, 3 months, crash and burn. Burn has been a rebirder. How come I'm not hearing the rebirder sound effects? Are you guys hearing those? Because I'm not hearing those.
Don't make me cut your mic in the first 3 minutes of the show, please.
John McSmith. What's up, John? He's got wine, cheese, and bread. He brought me a little bread tray. Nobody is old. Stop saying that. Are you leaving, Snow? Lori Staggs, 1963, baby. Candy Smith, 1996. Oh, your sister grad in 96. Lori Staggs coming in 1981. Cheryl, 84. Did you graduate from Warren Consolidated? Hey, Nikki Quinones. You guys are awesome. 1960 baby here. A rare penny. Love it. No one's old. No one's old. Age is just a number, you guys. But listen, Nicholas Miu. Back to this guy. He was in the river tubing. And he got himself into a predicament. And his predicament was, bye, Snow, have a great night. His predicament was that all these kids started calling him like a predator, saying he was looking for little girls and all this stuff. Well, in this prelim that actually showed the judge they had enough to, bring it over to trial, actually brought out in the lead investigator that these kids surrounded him. Oh my God, May, you are crazy as hell. If you dress up like Ronnie, you're going to have to send me a picture. John McSmith, get it on, boy, get it on.
Pieces of leakage in a...
There was leakage,
and that
there was a lot of leakage.
John, I hope you don't have too much leakage after you get your buzz on. I am doing well. Thanks for stopping in, John. Well, some days we all feel old, but, we just got to get through it. We just got to keep pushing through it, right? Right on, right on. If cats had thumbs. 1956. Look at that scroller. It's still on speed. But anyways, a lot comes out. So let's go ahead and play this. This has a run time of about 30 minutes. Not that long. I don't even know if I'll end up playing the whole thing, but it is quite interesting. And I think we can make some good commentary out of this. So let's start playing this. This is Nicholas Miu in court on the Apple River stabbing charges. And this was actually 1 month ago. And it doesn't have very many views. So not many people are keeping up on this case. But I'm gonna.
Let's connect my computer. So just give me a moment.
Oh, Lord. Never ready. Just kidding. So his lawyer is the bald guy. Nicholas's lawyer is the bald guy and then the guy with the glasses. This dude here. Oh, they moved away. That's the guy from Night Court. Just kidding. And then the other guy with the glasses and the lady are the prosecutors. But Nicholas has a really good lawyer, you guys. This bald guy is on point. Who just laughed?
Pieces of leakage in a...
All right, I think we're all set, ready to go.
Let's do it.
Are you just going to stay quiet forever?
Cuba.
Who knows?
What you are witnessing is real.
We're just running a little bit behind schedule. This time I will call the case of State of Wisconsin versus Nikolai Miu, 2022 CF 518. Mr. Anderson and Ms. Ellenwood both appear for the state. Mr. Chirafisi and Mr. Nelson both appear for Mr. Miu. Mr. Miu is present in the courtroom. He remains in custody. This is the St. Croix County Circuit Court, Branch 4. This is the date and time scheduled for a preliminary hearing. Mr. Anderson, who will be the first witness for the state?
State calls Lieutenant Brandy Hart.
Lieutenant Hart, please stand, raise your right hand, and be sworn.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
Please have a seat in the witness chair.
So she is the lead investigator in this. She was on scene and watched all the video.
Can you please state and spell your name?
Brandy, B-R-A-N-D-I-E, Hart, H-A-R-T.
And how are you employed?
I am the Special Services Lieutenant for the St. Croix County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been with the Sheriff's Office?
Almost 24 years.
And what do you do as the Special Services Lieutenant?
I supervise the Investigations Unit and the Court Services Unit.
For investigations, is your role mostly administrative or supervisory? Do you assist directly in investigations?
I do assist in investigations as needed.
Were St. Croix County Sheriff's Office investigators involved in a homicide investigation first reported on July 30th of this year at approximately 3:47 p.m.?
Yes.
Where was the incident?
It was reported to be on the Apple River in the area of the Sunrise Bridge.
And what is the Sunrise Bridge?
Sunrise Bridge is what the locals call about the 700 block of Highway 3564 that goes over the Apple River.
And is that section of the Apple River in St. Croix County, Wisconsin?
It is.
And what was the original information from dispatch?
That 4 to 5 victims had been stabbed.
Did deputies respond to the scene?
Yes.
And how many victims were identified as having stab wounds?
5.
And were any of them deceased?
Yes.
Is she fogging up the
For the
plexiglass?
deceased victim, did the Sheriff's Office receive a preliminary autopsy report?
Yes.
And what did that preliminary autopsy report, what information did that contain?
That the cause of death was a penetrating stab wound and the manner of death was homicide.
And what kind of wounds did the other 4 victims have?
They had wounds to their torsos.
And did all of the other 4 victims require emergency medical treatment?
Yes.
Was law enforcement the law enforcement on scene, were they able to obtain some sort of description of the suspect?
Yes.
How did they do that?
From witnesses.
Did they obtain an image?
Yes.
How did that happen?
There was a witness that recorded a good portion of the incident, and we were able to take a screenshot.
That looks like the judge right there.
And was a person matching that photo, that description, located?
Yes.
Near the Apple River?
Approximately an hour later, as at the exit point of the river.
And was that individual identified?
Yes.
Who was it?
Nikolai Miu.
Do you see Mr. Mew in the courtroom?
I do.
Can you identify where he's seated and the item of clothing he's wearing?
Yes, he's seated next to Attorney Nelson, and he's wearing his jail issue uniform.
It has record reflect the identity of the defendant, Judge.
It will.
And did you interview Mr.
Hey,
Mew?
CEO.
And what did he say happened?
He said that he was attacked, and he responded in self-defense.
Did he say if his attackers had weapons?
Yes.
What did he say they had?
He said that they brandished 2 weapons. One was a smaller folding knife and one was a kitchen style knife.
Thank you,
Did
May
you ask
May.
if he had his own knife?
I did.
What did he say?
He said no.
Did you interview Mr. Mew's wife?
Yes.
And was she present with Mr. Mew when they were tubing that day?
Yes.
And what's his wife's name?
Sandra.
And did you ask if Mr. Mew told her about the incident?
Yes.
And what did she tell you? He said.
Judge, I'm going to object. That's double hearsay, so I would object.
Double hearsay.
On those grounds.
Objection overruled. Hearsay is allowed in a preliminary hearing. You can answer.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. What did Sandra say that Mr. Mew told her about the incident?
That they had taken his knife from him.
And Mr. Mew had told you he didn't have his knife at all?
Correct.
So she's saying Miu lied?
Have you reviewed the video from the bystander?
Yes.
How does the video start?
The video starts from one of the tubers sitting in his tube, and Mr. Mew runs over to their tubes and grabs onto the tubes.
And what happens after that?
He dropped his goggles and snorkeled into the water and ended up walking around the tubes downriver, and he appeared to be looking for something.
Remember, he was looking for his friend's phone.
Did the group of tubers that he ran up to, did they stay in their tubes, get out of their tubes?
They got out of their tubes.
Listen carefully to this part.
And do you hear, is there conversation going on, yelling?
Yes.
Do you recall if you could hear specific things that were being yelled?
Yes, the group was yelling, "Go, get away, get out of here."
They were yelling more
at some
than
point,
that.
do any other people join that group of tubers and Mr. Mew?
Yes.
And what happens after that?
The first person to walk over is a female. She's yelling at him to leave and get away.
And at some point, are there a couple people speaking directly in front of Mr. Mew?
Yes.
Male or female?
2 females.
And are you able to see at that point if Mr. Mew has a knife on him?
Yes.
When do you first see the knife? Where do you first see the knife in the video?
While they're having a conversation, while he's conversing with the 2 females, you can see it clipped into his right pocket of his swim trunks.
And does he take the knife out of his pocket at some point?
Yes.
And was that still while he was conversing with the females?
Yes.
Does he open the blade?
Yes.
And still while he's conversing with those 2 females?
Yes.
While he's conversing with those 2 females and the knife open, can you see behind Mr. Mew?
Yes.
Was there anything or anyone behind him?
No.
Did witnesses say when the incident first turned violent?
Yes.
What did they say happened?
That Mr. Mew struck a female.
Can you see Mr. Mew strike a female in the video?
No.
No,
What
you hear
happens
that?
at that part of the
No.
video?
The camera pans away from the 3 of them.
And does it pan back?
Yes.
What do you see when the camera pans back?
One of the females that he was talking to appeared to have been struck in the left side of her face because her head is turned back toward the camera and she's no longer wearing sunglasses.
I don't object to speculation.
Sustained.
Objection.
So the
She could
female
have
who
taken off
said
her
head was turning
sunglasses.
back towards the camera after the camera pans back.
Yes.
And that female, just prior to the camera panning away, was she wearing sunglasses?
Yes.
And then after it pans back, she's not.
That doesn't mean he hit her. She could have taken him off. This is the first thing I noticed. The first thing, they're saying he hit that girl. And they're just saying because she didn't have her sunglasses on in one part of the video and then she did. Or didn't and then did.
Yes.
Did that female say what happened?
Not to me.
Did she say to other
Nothing.
investigators?
Yes.
And what did she say happened?
She said that Mr. Mew struck her in the face.
And after you see her head Turning towards the camera, what happened, or what do you see in the video?
An individual hit Mr. View and he fell into the river.
Mr. Mew fell into the river?
Yes.
How deep did the river appear in that area where there else are?
Shin depth, probably a little past the ankles.
And
it was only to the
ankles? Does Mr. Mew fall into the river?
Yes.
What happens after that?
He is pushed, he's slapped, and pushed again.
And does Mr. Mew get up after that?
He does.
And then what happens?
He stabs victim number 2, and victim number 2 is able to push him, Mr. Mew, back into the river.
And is it just in and out, or can you describe that stab?
Yeah, the stab to the abdomen, goes to the abdomen with a jab, and then the knife appeared to move up his torso.
I'm curious if you guys
Yes.
will think this is self-defense. Wait till you hear the whole story.
And what happened after that?
Victim number 2 was able to push Mr. Mew into the water. Mr. Mew eventually got up, and you can see his hand in a stabbing motion. You don't see any other individuals get struck from the camera view.
And after that, so he gets up, you see stabbing motion, but you don't see what the knife makes contact with, if anything, at that point?
Correct. There's a female in the background that has a bleeding wound to her left rib cage.
And after the stabbing motion, what happens after that in the video?
It appears that victim 1 goes to push Mr. Mew, and there's another stabbing. Mr. Mew does another stabbing motion, and when his hand comes back into view, there's blood on the upper portion of his hand and on the top of the knife.
And what do you see of victim 1 at that point in the video?
Just his left arm.
And how were you able to determine that was victim 1?
He had a piece of jewelry on.
And was that jewelry
he died.
recovered and identified as belonging to victim 1?
Yes.
I didn't know Harry died.
The camera pans around the river. The scene becomes pretty chaotic. There's victim 1 is in the river being tended to by another individual. Victim 2 is clutching his abdomen and his intestines are out, and the river water is red.
Yikes.
Are there reactions from victims and bystanders?
Yes.
What was that?
Screaming, high-pitched voices, shock.
And do you see Nikolai again towards the end of the video?
Yes.
And what's the last you see Nikolai in the video?
He is walking upriver toward his group.
And in the beginning you said he ran up to the group of tubers?
Okay, listen to this.
And when you see him at the end of the video, is he running or walking?
Walking.
Is there any record of Nikolai ever calling 911?
No.
Besides the knife you see Nikolai having in the video, do you see any other knives or weapons in the video?
No.
Was Nikolai's knife recovered on his person?
No.
Was there a knife believed to be his knife recovered?
Yes.
And where was that recovered?
On the river bank.
One kid died, Carrie. She kind of does. John.
Nothing else.
Mr. Chair Fisi.
Here we go. Now's when it gets
Deputy,
good.
you had mentioned, I'm sorry, Detective. You had mentioned that when you see the video start, Mr. Mew comes up to the other people on the river on their tubes. Is that right?
Yes.
Does he do that in an aggressive manner, in your opinion?
He's jogging at them.
Okay. Can you hear him saying anything?
No.
Okay. So he's not yelling or threatening anyone, correct?
Correct.
All right. And he doesn't have his this knife you're talking about, he doesn't have it out at the time, right?
Correct.
Okay.
He
can you
didn't
tell me what is
approach
he
them
doing?
with the knife.
He jogs up to their tubes and grabs onto one of the tubes.
Okay. Does it appear that he's asking them questions?
No.
Okay. And when he comes up to their tubes, how many people are we talking about does he approach?
A boot.
The camera doesn't really show other people, but the tubes were tied together, which is pretty common for people tubing down the upper river.
How many tubes were tied together then?
I don't recall.
More than 2? More
Yes.
than 4?
More than 4.
Okay. And these people, however many there are, they're yelling for him to get away from them? Is that right?
Eventually, yes.
Okay, when you say eventually, how much time passes from the time he walks up to them till the time they tell him to get away?
A few seconds.
Okay, so it's pretty quick.
Yes.
All right. And you don't hear him say anything to them, do you?
No.
Okay. And they're,
Very
but you do
telling.
hear them yelling at him to get away from them.
Yes.
The dude was looking for a phone that his
now
friend
you-
lost. That's it.
Come to learn that he's looking for something. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's a phone. True?
Correct.
Okay. And I think the kind of the synopsis of the video says that he appears to be looking for something and in fact turns around and turns away from them to start looking for it. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Does he, is he verbally aggressive with anybody at that point?
No.
Physically aggressive in any manner to anyone at that point?
No.
Okay.
He's a good lawyer.
And it mentions that as he's walking toward the bridge, more individuals start to converge upon him. Is that right?
No.
So that wouldn't be correct.
Well, he turns around and goes back toward the group, and then the group goes toward him.
Okay, so he turns back toward the group,
Yes.
and then these people start moving toward him.
Somewhat.
Okay, how many people?
Somewhat.
I don't recall.
Come on,
Give
lady.
me your best estimate of numbers.
5.
Okay. Are they yelling at him?
Yes.
Prosecutor's
yelling
flicking
back
his
at them?
pen.
No.
Are they, and I can you tell me, you had mentioned how he ran up to the tube, or to the tubes. How are they walking toward him?
Walking?
Okay, so they're just walking in the river to him.
Yes.
Okay, is he walking toward them?
I don't recall.
Okay, but you would agree they're moving toward him? Yes?
I don't know.
Come on, lady.
Do you know what they're saying to him? Can you hear what they're saying to him?
Yes.
What are they saying to him?
To get away.
They're telling him to get away and they're moving toward him. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So at this point, has he, from what you've seen, has he done anything in an aggressive manner, Mr. Mew, to any of these people?
Other than running up to their tubes, no.
Okay. And so the only people that have been verbalizing anything have been this group of people, right?
Yes.
Okay, and they're making it clear they want him to get away from them. Yes? Okay. And at this point, is it still just 5 people? Or does another group come over and start to join into this?
There's a female that comes over from the other side of the river.
Okay. So then she might make 6? 5 plus her is 6?
Sure.
Okay. And at that point, he doesn't have he doesn't have his knife out, does he?
No.
Okay. And so this mentions that a female, the complaint mentions that a female is moving toward him, and it says toward the confrontation, and is telling him to go away. Is that right?
Yes.
Does he respond in any way to that?
Not that I remember hearing.
Okay. He doesn't become aggressive with her either at that point. True.
No.
Okay. And the video then mentions that he's looking for little girls, that people are yelling that he's looking for little girls, and they're calling him a pedophile. Is that right?
You don't hear the word pedophile in the video. Mr. Mew did tell me that that's what they were calling him. And you can hear what sounds like maybe the camera recorder say something about he's looking for little girls.
Okay.
He was looking
Were there
for
any
a
little girls
phone.
there?
I didn't see any.
Okay.
No
But
little
there-
girls.
Can you hear these people yelling, he's looking for little girls?
I heard one person yell that.
Okay. And then it mentions that a larger group of individuals start converging toward the area. Is that true?
You don't see any convergence on the video.
Who knows?
More people end up in the area once the video pans back.
So how many people in total? It's Mr. Mew, and how many other people are there then?
I don't know.
Again, I'm asking for your best estimate. You've watched the video.
I don't
I don't know.
More than 10?
I don't think so.
Okay, more than the 6 though, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they are continuing to yell at him, correct?
Yes.
He's not doing anything in terms of yelling at them, correct?
Correct.
He doesn't have his knife out, true?
Well, at some point he takes his knife out.
Talking about right then. When these people are converging on him and yelling at him, he doesn't have his knife out, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then somebody actually comes up and makes physical contact with him. Is that right?
That is not right.
Okay, so if it says that at least one person touched him on the shoulder, that wouldn't be true.
I don't recall anyone touching him on the shoulder.
Okay. And they have him, the complaint uses the word surrounded, but they've got him from his left side to his right side in a half moon. They're all standing in front of him. Is that
Hear
right?
that?
Yes.
Surrounded.
And there are these at least 6+ people standing in a circular fashion in front of him, yelling at him. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I think the question was asked, his only area where he doesn't have these people is behind him. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Wisconsin.
And at this point, when he's surrounded
Don't you know?
on 3 sides, basically, front and both sides by these people, is he yelling at them?
I don't believe so.
Is he making any physical threatening motions toward them?
No.
Okay. Now, you have mentioned that somebody told somebody that he punched a female and punched her. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at the point the females come upon him or confront him, you see in the video that he opens his knife. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and it's in his right hand?
Yes.
Okay. Did they say that, so he punched this female with a knife in his hand? Is that what they're saying?
I don't know. I didn't interview her.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Did she have any marks on her face where she might have been, if he would have hit her with an open knife, she
Look at
would
the
have got
prosecutor.
cut? Potentially. Did you see anything like that?
Sorry, folks. Park's closed.
Okay. And you don't see this punch that you're talking about. You don't see this on the video, do you?
No.
Okay. What you see, and you tell me if I have it right, is the complaint describes it as multiple people converging toward Mr. Mew. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many is multiple?
Objection asked to answer.
Overruled.
How many is multiple, man?
More than 2.
Okay. And they're yelling at him?
Yes.
Don't make me cut
Okay,
your
and,
mic in the first 3 minutes of the show,
he
please.
falls backwards into the water. Is that right?
After he struck.
Okay, so somebody hits him in the face, right?
Yes.
That knocks him into the water?
Yes.
Okay. And then this person, can you describe anything about the person who hit him in the face? Like, what are they wearing? Just so I'm trying to keep track of who's who, that's all.
Well, they're all in swimwear.
Understood.
So he
Hey,
has
Kate.
swim trunks
Okay, were they yellow? Is this the person in yellow trunks?
on. No.
Okay. So this person hits Mr. Mew, knocks him into the water, and then he, if I have it right, he approaches
Blinks a lot.
Mr. Mew and pushes him into the water again as Mr. Mew's attempting to get out of the water. Or
Sir
get out.
blink a lot.
Is that true?
Someone does.
Okay. It's not the same person?
I don't recall.
Okay. So there potentially could have been 2 people then. Who had
She's the
punched
only
him
witness.
and who had
Why doesn't
pushed
she
him at
know
the-
everything?
Approximately the same time, right?
Possibly.
Okay. And according to the complaint, he tries to get back to his feet and then he's shoved in the water or pushed down for a 3rd time. Is that right?
Given the fallout
a second time, if he's already in the water, he got pushed, he was punched into the water, and then he was pushed and slapped and pushed again.
Damn.
Okay, and so, and then when the person who tries to push him again, that person gets stabbed. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
so,
lady, come on. Talk us through this. Make it make sense.
The person with yellow swimming trunks advancing on Mr. Mew attempts to push him again, shove him again, and while doing so, he gets stabbed. That's not correct.
The person in the yellow trunks goes toward him. I don't believe he was pushed at that point. He pushed Mr. Mew after he got stabbed.
Okay.
Look at Mew.
So would it be fair to say Mr. Mew stabbed the person who had this person punched or pushed him previously?
I don't recall.
Okay.
At what point can a person defend themselves? You know what I'm
So
saying?
at this point, I know it's kind of chaotic, or it sounds like it's chaotic. How many people are around Mr. Mew at that point?
Okay, let me stop for a sec. Because to me, this guy's surrounded by all these teenagers being assholes, pushing him down, slapping him. At what point can he defend himself? Oh my God, John McSmith, her eyebrows are irritating me if we are going to share irritations tonight. Bananas. I'm just curious, what are you guys thinking so far? Put a 1 in chat if you think this could be self-defense. Put a 2 in chat if you think there's no way in hell it was self-defense. He's a psycho. But he didn't approach these kids with a knife. He didn't approach them aggressively. And he didn't approach them yelling. Put a 1 if you think it could be self-defense.
Okay. And at this point, are they still
way.
in the half moon that we're talking about, or have they worked their way to behind him at that point?
There are some people that work their way behind him.
Okay, so to be fair, at this point, he is, I'm going to use the term covered, you use whatever term, on all sides. True?
Yes.
There is no point of, as the complaint uses the term, egress. There's no place for him to go at that point. Agreed?
Ouch. This is it.
Yes.
Oh! She just admitted that he was surrounded and there was nowhere for him to go. It's going to be all up to the jury, folks. This is going to be a great trial to watch.
And if I have it right, you tell me if this is right. After this person gets pushed and stabbed, another person comes up to Mr. Mew from behind and puts their hands on him. Is that true?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't recall. How convenient. Lead investigator.
You had mentioned a female holding her side, right?
Yes.
Do you see what happens? How it ends up? I understand that she gets stabbed. Do you know how that happens?
No.
Meaning how that plays out?
No.
Okay. The complaint mentions that another person then runs up to Mr. Mew, shoves him with 2 hands in his neck area. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And is that from the side, the back, the front? How does he push him?
At the front.
Okay, so he runs up to him.
Yes.
And at this point, is he, I know you probably can't run in the water like you run on the ground, but is he running toward him and then shoves him with his hands in his throat?
You don't see it, how he gets up there.
Okay. And once that happens, that person is then stabbed, is that right?
It appears as though that's correct.
Okay. Now, the complaint mentions there's a person in the water that Mr. Mew, I believe it's Mr. Mew, comes up to when this is kind of being dispersed. Is that true?
We had viewed another video that it looked like that was possible, but after witness interviews and our investigation, that's no longer our belief.
Okay. And can Can you give me an idea from the time that you say the video starts, where it becomes kind of chaotic, till the time that Mr. Mew is able to leave the area? How much time passed?
As he's walking away, less than 3 minutes.
Okay, so the incident takes about 3 minutes?
From the start of the video until the video ends, it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay, but part of the video just has him being yelled at. I'm talking about the actual commotion part where there's criminal behavior, where there's the allegations of this criminal behavior. Do you know how long that is?
Yeah, it's about 12 seconds.
Okay, so the entire incident's about 12 seconds.
12 to 15.
Okay. And based on the video, can you tell me if this is right? Mr. Mew never harms anybody who doesn't approach him first, correct?
I don't know.
Well, you saw the video. Can you tell me whether or not you believe that to be true?
Object, Judge. I think she testified at least one victim you don't even see get stabbed, so if we can be more specific, maybe.
Well, just on the video, man. I'm not asking for your opinion. From what you've testified that you saw in the video, do you see Mr. Mew attacking somebody who hasn't attacked him first?
With that understanding, go ahead and answer. Objection of the law.
Answer.
Ask the question again.
Oh my God.
From what you can see on the video, would you agree that Mr. Mew doesn't harm anyone or attack anyone who hasn't physically attacked him in some manner or form first?
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Oh, what? Hold on. We're going to
Is
pause.
that what you see? You see people attacking him?
We're going to pause her for a second. I have the criminal complaint pulled up, guys. Let's quickly take a look at it. My God, there's a freaking fruit fly in here, and I'm going to scream. All right, let's go to this complaint and take a quick look. This chick does not want to answer these questions because in the news, they're saying in the beginning, he ran up to them. This is what the cops said, that he ran up to them and grabbed their tubes. And they're saying they're charging him with first-degree intentional homicide. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, she was described as Russian looking. I can't. A male was, okay, right here. Through investigation, interviews of witnesses and victims indicated that a male was bothering a group of juveniles on their tubes. The group of juveniles were yelling for help from other individuals floating down the river nearby. We didn't just hear that at all. Witnesses stated that a group of people came and stood in between Nikolai and the group of juveniles and told him to leave. Witness statements indicated that Nikolai was being spoke to in a half-moon shape with a route of egress from the confrontation. Witnesses described Nikolai as punching or slapping a female that was in the group confronting him. Nikolai was then punched by a male and fell into the river. Witnesses then described Nikolai began stabbing multiple individuals who were near him. Witness statement described the knife used as an approximate 3-inch silver blade with a silver clip handle and folding. On July 31st, I reviewed a video of the incident that was obtained. Below is a summary of the video. And the video is captured by Jawan Cockfield. Can't make that up. Video starts by showing Nikolai, who was shirtless and carrying goggles, run up to Jawan's group and grab onto their tubes, while people in the tubing party are yelling to Nikolai to get away. Nikolai stands up, walks around the tubes, appears to be looking for something. He probably asked them, "Have you seen a phone?" Nikolai begins walking away with his back to the tubing party. The camera shows the highway bridge in the background, showing the video facing north. Nikolai then turns around saying something while pointing at the group. Nikolai again turned to walk back towards the bridge. The camera pans and shows more individuals converging toward Nikolai. So they all started to surround him. Nikolai then walks towards a female in a black one-piece swimsuit with blonde hair who was walking towards the confrontation and appears to be pointing downriver and telling Nikolai to go away. In the video, you can hear people expressing that he was looking for little girls. A larger group of individuals converged towards the area. Multiple people were yelling at Nikolai, and it appears at least one person touched his shoulder. From the video, it does appear to show people on 3 sides of Nikolai at different distances. The video and elapsed time show opportunity for Nikolai to leave the confrontation. But she just said he couldn't. She just said he couldn't. The camera pans away from Nikolai. While this is happening, a commotion starts and multiple people converge towards Nikolai. The camera pans back and shows Nikolai falling backwards into the water. Nikolai, while laying in the water, is slapped with an open hand on the left side of his face. While this is happening, the video shows Nikolai is holding a small silver bladed knife with the blade erect. He appears to be getting back to his feet and is shoved in the back by an individual wearing yellow swimming trunks. Nikolai then begins emerging from the water with the knife in his right hand. And then the yellow swimming trunks advances to shove Nikolai again. And then Nikolai stabbed him in the abdomen. I don't know, man. I think he's got a good case of self-defense. I did not realize all of this. When we first read through this, hearing her say it is a lot different. All right, let's go back to her testimony. Because she just said something totally different of what we just read in that complaint.
And he responds, is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Bye, Rex.
And fair to say at no point that you see on the video, I'll ask it this way. Mr. Muse by himself through the entirety of this 3-minute and 12-second or whatever video that you see, right?
No, he does have one person from his group that is up toward the main group.
While this is going on?
At the end of it, yes.
Does this person in any way participate?
No.
Okay, so the number of people, whatever it is, 6 to 10 or whatever you had said, I don't want to put words in your mouth. It's those people and then it's Mr. Mew by himself, correct?
Yes.
And did you see Mr. Mew in the video? Did you see him going under the water? His head going under the water?
No.
Okay. Did you see him gagging or throwing up from taking water in?
No.
I did not see that, Angel.
And when
That's weird.
When you interview Mr. Mew, he tells you, I want to make sure I have it right. He tells you that he was acting in self-defense, right?
He did.
Okay, and that he had been attacked. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, and his statement in terms of being attacked is borne out on the video, yes?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Anderson, anything else?
Yes. You were asked if...
By the way, his lawyer has like a kissy face problem. Like he has like a involuntary movement where he puckers his lips. Kind of like NK does in our little emoji we got.
He stabbed anyone who didn't physically attack him first.
Ew, don't pick your ear, dude.
The person who he stabbed into and sliced up, I think the testimony was that person had pushed Mr. Mew. Or maybe did right after simultaneously or close to.
He was tubing. They were all tubing.
And then later on there's a victim who touches Mr. Mew's back, and then Mr. Mew stabs that person. Is that right?
Judge, I don't think that was the testimony.
Well, she can say whether or not that's what happened. Objection overruled.
Okay.
I don't remember anyone touching his back.
Okay.
Prosecutor's sweating a little bit. Sorry, folks, park's closed. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, when the group was, when the two females are talking to Mr. Mew. Can you see Mr. Mew's face?
Yes.
Is there any sort of expression on his face that you recall?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall if it appeared like he was grinning?
I'm going to object. It's leading and it's speculation.
Sustained on leading.
Did everyone, you testified that everyone is yelling at him to walk away. Do you ever see a point where Mr. Mew attempts to walk away?
No.
Where was Mr. Mew holding the knife before it turned physical, when he had the blade open? Where was he holding it? Up in the air? Down at his side? Do you recall?
Yes, it was down on the side.
Did he ever raise it and back away or anything like that?
No.
Nothing else.
Mr. Cherafisi?
One question. Did he ever, prior to these people converging on him, did he ever threaten anybody with a knife?
No.
Nothing else.
Thank you. Lieutenant, you can step down.
He never threatened anyone with the knife.
Mr. Anderson, does the state have more evidence?
No.
Any evidence, Mr. Cherafisi?
I don't, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Arguments. Mr. Anderson.
Judge, the defendant ran up to this group, grabbed onto their tubes. The testimony is that then he was walking around the tubes. The group that he first ran up to stood up. There was two females talking to him, at which point he takes his knife out, opens it up. He's holding it down by his side. You don't see in the video him striking the female, but that was that was what witnesses said, as well as the victim was punched in the face. He was then punched in response, pushed down into the water, and got up and started stabbing people. There's nothing to suggest that anyone else had it. There's nothing in the video showing, according to the testimony, anyone else had any weapon whatsoever. Mr. Mew made no attempt to walk away. The only reason he was here with the group who were yelling at him to go away was because he ran up on them. So with one deceased, 4 others with wounds to the abdomen, including one with his intestines coming out of his body. So I think there's probable cause.
Mr. Cherafisi.
Judge, I understand the burden of proof, and I understand that self-defenses, affirmative defenses are not an issue here. So based on that, I have no other specific argument for the court.
Thank you. All right, this is a preliminary hearing. At a preliminary hearing, the state must show evidence sufficient to prove that a felony was probably committed by the defendant. So in other words, the state has to show sufficient evidence to warrant a trial for felony level crimes. This is not the proceeding or the date and time to determine guilt or innocence, or to resolve, frankly, competing inferences of fact. Today's testimony showed that on July 30, 2022, Mr. Mew and others were floating on the Apple River, which is located in St. Croix County. Mr. Mew and others had a physical altercation. That altercation involved a knife. Mr. Mew stabbed 5 individuals, all of whom were seriously injured, one of whom sustained fatal injuries. So based on those facts, I conclude that there is sufficient evidence to believe that a felony was probably committed by Mr. Mew, and he should be found over for trial. Let's go off the record. We'll select a date for the arraignment.
In this arraignment, I looked everywhere for it, and I can't find a video of it anywhere. It should have happened already in the beginning of September, I believe.
Could you be ready by next Friday, the 9th?
September 9th or October 9th, and I couldn't find it.
I am out that day.
Come on, prosecutor.
Attorney Altman and I are both out that day, Judge.
All right, Thursday, September 8th.
That works for the state.
I could go later, but I end up on intake, which gets to be very busy.
Judge, I could appear in the afternoon in person, and Mr. Sharofsky would be available via Zoom.
Would that be okay, Judge?
That'd be fine, yes. Would 1 o'clock work?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Back on the record, the arraignment is scheduled for Thursday, September 8th at 1 o'clock. Mr. Cherafisi had permission to appear by Zoom. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Sharofsky.
Sharofsky. I beg your pardon.
It's good enough.
Terafasi.
Is there anything else, Mr. Anderson?
No.
Mr. Cherafisi?
No, sir.
All right. That concludes this proceeding. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Judge.
So they did do the arraignment. I think it was on Zoom. But I have to look up when his trial starts, but I definitely will stream his trial. It's going to be an interesting one. Not only because it's Rittenau's, whatever, lawyer, but because this is going to be an edgy thing. I mean, obviously these kids were instigating a fight with him, calling him names, calling him a predator. I mean, you don't call a man a predator and think he's just going to like take it. But yeah, I mean, pretty disrespectful of those kids, in my opinion. And FYI, May, I don't know why you keep throwing out insinuations like that I'm fat. Like you came in earlier, you were like, "Are you expecting?" Like, not only is that rude, but I'm not overweight. So I don't know why you keep insinuating that. And if I was, who cares? Just wondering why you are insinuating that. Okay, let's wrap up our poll between Emmy and Gabby. Emmy won by a freaking landslide. I am shocked. I'm shocked. But it's Emmy. I love Emmy. Emmy's a beautiful, cute name. She looks like an Emmy. So next one is going to be our final. We're going to have Emmy versus Roberta. So is it going to end up being, am I going to have an Emmy or am I going to have a Roberta? Scott H., what do you think? What's your predicament? Yeah, she asked if I was expecting, and I jokingly said I was expecting triplets. But yeah, I mean, I keep getting the whale emoji, and it's just like, why are you doing that? We don't body shame here anyways. But yes, Emmy has won 3 times in a row. So Emmy is Emmy right now until we figure out if she's going to be Emmy or Roberta. Angel, that is crazy. Scott H. says, I've got to watch the Elder Crumbs from this morning. Yeah, that was pretty entertaining. I'm thinking that Emmy will win. I don't think anyone's going to vote for Roberta. I think it's going to be a landslide. That's my guess. She looks like a little Emmy. It is cute. It's very cute. So, do you guys want to watch another video with me before we go? They're still taking pictures here at the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Look at that. Scott H., do you like the Great Pumpkin? No, Angie, it wasn't you. It was May. May asked if I was expecting. And I said, oh, yes, I am, May. I'm expecting triplets. It was her. I remember. I could have sworn it was her. Wasn't it you, May, that asked if I was expecting? Emmy or we riot? Oh, I know. During the stream, she'll hear her name.
Cooperate. Yeah. Cooperate. But.
All right, let's watch another video. I've got another one in queue for you guys. This is some crazy shit. So my husband and I caught this last night, and this is very graphic. So warning, the images you are about to see are very disturbing and crazy. So here, let me give you a little brief background on this. So the background is this guy was riding his motorcycle. He was being chased. He gave chase. He was going like upwards of 100 miles an hour. And he got off the bike and he started running. Well, the cops then tased him. And watch what happens next.
He's on foot. He crashed out.
Get on the ground!
He's on foot. He crashed out.
He's on foot!
Allen and Sanders Street.
Extinguisher!
Person 45th and Chandler.
He's on fire! He's on fire! Get extinguisher! Extinguisher!
On fire right now.
Holy hell. Can you imagine? So it turned out he had a gallon of gas in his backpack. And when they tased him, it engulfed in flames.
45th and Chandler.
He's on fire!
Watch when they tase
He's
him.
on foot. He's cranked out.
Get on the ground!
He's on foot. He's cranked out.
He's on fire!
Allen and Chandler Street.
Extinguisher!
Person 45th and Chandler.
He's on fire! He's on fire! Get extinguisher! Extinguisher!
On fire right now.
Is that not horrific, hearing those screams? Holy shiznuts. You can catch the whole chase. It's on a YouTube video. If you put like Arkansas man engulfed in flames, you'll get the whole video and you can watch the whole chase. But he gave chase for quite a ways. But yeah, scatty. Yeah, it was not Carrie for sure. Scary stuff. Scott H., while you're here, I wanted to ask you if you had any news on the body that was found in Bristol. There was a body found at a boat launch by a fisherman in Bristol at a park. I didn't know if there was an update on that. I figured you might know, Scott H. Tomorrow we're going to be going over some videos. Governor DeSantis here in Florida has cracked down on felons voting. So it got really confusing because felons could vote here. They changed it and made it where they could vote unless they were like a murderer or something. There's like a clause. And people didn't know. And people were voting and they went around and did like a sting and arrested random people for voter fraud in Florida. And there's a lot of body cam of it. It's really, really crazy. These people seriously didn't know. And the cops are like, sorry, we have to take you in. You know, this is what we're told to do. So I don't know. I think he had a gallon of gas probably for his bike. I'm not sure. Two people were charged in the Bristol case. Well, they just found it yesterday. Did they? Is that the same one? A lady was charged with second-degree murder and a man with tampering with evidence. So who was the dead person? Was it a male or a female? Thanks, Mike and Scott. Thanks for that update. I kind of wondered about that. I always wonder whenever, because I never forget that Hunter says that he was in Bristol at a park with his girl. Remember that? He said, with my girl. So we're going to watch another video before we go. This is called Tensions Run High outside Quentin Simon's. And I haven't watched anything on this today. So this is an actual news.
Continuing our coverage for the search for missing toddler Quentin Simon. It's been over 3 weeks since the little boy disappeared from his West Chatham home. Hundreds of investigators from across the country, including the FBI, continue to search a nearby landfill where they believe the little boy's body is. WSAV's lead investigative reporter Brett Buffington is at the command center near the landfill where we are hearing that tensions are running high today. Brett?
Indeed, Gina, but that's not here at this command center or at the landfill. That is actually in Quentin's neighborhood. Take a look at this video. It's brand new into the newsroom. This is a response to, we assume, protesters who have been in front of Quentin Simon's family's home for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. Those protesters now getting met with the family themselves, Billy Joe Howell, Leilani Simon, Quentin's mom, now sitting in front of their home, we're told smoking cigarettes and not responding to the protesters who are now shouting at them across the street. While that is going on some 7 miles away from this command center.
Are you kidding me?
Here at this landfill, I can tell you today we got new photographs of the search that is happening. Some 100 different people in this case, from law enforcement to civilians, a group of them now in that landfill searching. We expect that to wrap up any moment now, when we have learned that searchers will take the weekend off, as they did last weekend, to kind of reset. They'll begin the search in the landfill again early Monday morning. So far, they can't tell us how much trash they have been through or if they have found anything relevant.
These don't look like new images to me. These look like old images. Where's the new video?
To Quentin's case in that landfill, but we do know this is week 2.
They're walking down a dirt road. That does not look like a landfill to me. This looks like the Brian Laundrie search. What is this? What is this video of? I'm waiting for the evidence van to get stuck. This does not look like a landfill search.
Roly-poly, daddy's little Betty. Betty's gonna be a man
of
someday.
That search, and Tino, week 3 since Quentin has last been seen.
Sometimes these news reports just do not make sense. Oh, hidden camera. What? Washington County. Where is that? 1 day ago, investigators found nearly 600 pictures, videos of nude girls on Brian Saban's phone. What?
State of Wisconsin versus Brian Sieben.
High school senior Brian Sieben of rural Slinger making his first court appearance on 27 felony counts, accused of secretly recording naked girls as they changed clothes using a hidden camera in the basement of his family's house on Big Cedar Lake in the town of Polk. He's charged with invasion of privacy, possession of child pornography, and exposing a child to harmful materials. According to the criminal complaint, it came to light in September when Sieben showed some of the photos to a friend who reported it. The investigation uncovered nearly 600 videos and photos on his phone depicting nude girls. Detectives identified 12 victims ranging in age from 14 to 17. The images were recorded between 2020 and last month. According to the complaint, Sieben admitted he used a peephole to view into the basement bathroom where girls would change into and out of swimsuits.
It appears that he was in a manner bragging about obtaining some of these photographs. So those statements are quite strong.
One of the victims told detectives Sieben, quote, was very pushy about having the girls change in the downstairs bathroom. After he was arrested, Sieben told investigators it was a popular place. Quote, people like to come over because it's a lake house. The sheriff's office today revealed they've also just gained access to another electronic device found in a search warrant and, quote, unfortunately could result in more victims being identified and the potential for more charges.
Jeez, oh, Pete's. 2 years? This kid did this shit? Okay, back to Quentin.
It's been nearly 3.5 weeks since little Quentin Simon went missing. There's been a lot that's happened over the last 23 days. And our Andy Cole has been on this story from the very beginning. He joins us now live from the Mobile Command Center. Andy, tell us what's the latest.
Yeah, tell us, Andy.
Hey, good evening, Shannon. In just the last hour, those expert searchers from the FBI wrapped up for the week. Now, over the last 2 weeks, they've been searching a landfill just about a mile from where I am right now, piece by piece, looking for any sign of Quentin Simon.
Right now, you're looking at new images the FBI gave us of the diligent search of that landfill. The experts are positioned on what the FBI calls a search deck. They go through every piece of trash, and then that section is removed, and a new one is brought in.
We know that.
At all.
Yeah, I went by the home where Quentin was last seen alive, and to my surprise, Leilani, Quentin's 22-year-old mom, and his grandmother, Billy Joe, were outside on some lawn chairs. So I asked them a few questions. I want you to take a look.
Oh, Lord.
Leilani, it's Andy Cole with WJCL. Did you kill Quentin?
Oh.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
I'd love to hear about it.
No.
I want to tell your story.
No, we don't care about telling a story.
Woo! Damn! He straight up asked her, did you kill? Wow. Even the reporters are straight up. They are parked right in their front lawn. What a bunch of yahoos. Let's watch that again.
Leilani, it's Andy Cole with WJCL. Did you kill Quentin? Do you want to talk about it?
No.
I'd love to hear about it.
No.
I want to tell your story.
No, we don't care about telling a story.
What do you care about, Billy Joe? Doing shots with your daughter? And people are giving that woman a platform. That woman sitting in a lawn chair, kicking her leg when she was legally responsible for Quentin Simon and allowed this to go on because she left him in the care of drug addicts.
A defiant Billy Joe and a quiet Leilani. Now, of course, we will continue to stay on top of this story. As you remember, the FBI joined the investigation just 3 hours after Quentin was reported missing, and over 100 law enforcement officers have been on the case since the beginning.
All right, definitely some tense moments there with little Quentin's grandmother. Yes, stay on top of this story for us, Andy. Thanks so much. It's been nearly...
Rose, who are you talking about? I guess I missed that. Thank you, Amanda Reynolds, for subscribing. So, yeah, I'm thinking that Billy Joe's not doing herself any favors, but hey, what do I know? What do I think happened? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what happened, but I know that something happened. All I need to know, this is all I need to know. And I'll wait for police officers to fill in the blanks. But all I need to know is that Billy Joe went to court, took her daughter to court and took custody of her kids, and then left those kids in the care of 2 drug addicts. And that's all I need to know. Billy Joe was legally responsible for Quentin and making sure that he was protected, and she failed to do that job. And now the kid's missing, and they're digging through garbage, tampons, shit, you name it. And while they're sitting there in their front lawn acting like badasses, who can defend that? I don't know. I don't know. She does not know. But thank you, guys. I had a lot of fun doing this tonight. It was a fun...
He does not know.
Friday Night Live. I know it's not all the drama and, craziness. That's why we don't have a lot of viewers here right now, but that's fine. The ones that are here because they want to be here. And I appreciate you guys, and you're what keeps this channel going. So with that being said, I am going to close this out. And I want to thank all the mods for being here. And I want to thank all the members for being here. And dance it out. I'm going to go feed Emmy. All right, Roberters.
Roberta, the proof is in the pudding, if you will.
I appreciate you guys. All right, you guys. Dance it out. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be going over those crazy voter fraud arrests in Florida. All right. See you guys laters. And I think, by the way, I think the whole bathtub thing is a ruse to make it look like an accident. I'm out. See ya.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 That's how it I don't give a damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs.
and we are coming for you. And we will put you behind bars at the Marcino Motel.
I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn, you talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn, I don't give a damn, I don't give a.
We're in these chat rooms, Snapchats, Instagram, Facebook. You'll never know the name, you'll never know who it is, but we are watching everywhere. So our detectives are watching all the different social media platforms. If someone writes a threat, we're coming in full force.